AITA for injuring myself before my sister's wedding? I, 28F, and my sister, 26F, have always had great relations. Recently, her fiancé, let's call him Josh, had proposed to her. She invited the entire family and a few of her friends to the wedding. 4 days before the wedding, I was cycling around the neighborhood I live in. I accidentally took a sharp turn and planted face first into the concrete. I bruised my leg, part of my face and arms unfortunately. I thought I shouldn't go to the wedding. This reached my sister a few hours after I came back home and started treating my scar. And I tell you, she was furious. She told me that because of some dumb scar I can't come to a relative's birthday. She also accused me of doing this on purpose just so I wouldn't have to see her friend, my ex. About 1 hour later I got an entire paragraph from my mother, stating I am a liar and a selfish person. There were 2 main reasons why I couldn't attend the wedding. First, after the crash I felt extremely nauseous and dizzy. Second, I could not dare to walk into a public area with a large, bright red dot on my forehead. My husband, let's call him Damien, also decided not to go to the wedding due to the way my sister treats me. During the time I am writing this, it is 3 days before the wedding and I still feel extremely sick. My mother is scolding me for not being able to attend a wedding for a medical event. She says that my sister has attended all of my important events, my graduation, my own wedding, etc. I accept that, but getting bombarded by angry messages from my mom because I got hurt is horrible in my eyes. So Reddit, AITA? Okay, as someone in the medical field, if you are feeling ill after 3 days after a bike crash, you need to go to the ER. You should not be feeling this way. Please, NTA, but go to the ER immediately. You need to sort out your priorities. First, after the crash I felt extremely nauseous and dizzy. So see a doctor, get checked out. Second, I could not dare to walk into a public area with a large, bright red dot on my forehead. This is a non-issue, and if this is the reason you're giving your sister for skipping her wedding, I'm not surprised that she's fuming. This is a concussion. See a doctor and get treated. This is like an episode of Judge Judy. I face planted. But let me go on Reddit and ask whether I'm being an ass to my sister who's getting married soon. OpFFS. Priorities. Have you been looked at? Why is your family ripping into you? Unless this is a weird pattern of hurting yourself before important days of celebration, WTF. Go see a doctor. Wedding or birthday? I am all lost here. Go to the doctor. Info. Did you want to go to the wedding before your accident? YTA. Yesterday you fell off your bike, so you immediately decide you can't attend a wedding that's happening 3 days from today due to current dizziness, nausea and possible facial bruising? And you claim you and your sister have always had a good relationship? If this bike accident happened hours before the wedding, that would be one thing. But otherwise, with the info you've shared thus far, you're being absurd. Yes, you should get medical treatment to treat a possible concussion. And yes, if you do have a severe concussion, or other serious issue due to the head injury, you may not be well enough to attend the wedding. But you had no way of making that decision yesterday. You lacked the information to honestly make that call, and I don't blame your sister for assuming you're using this bike crash as an excuse not to attend for your own unspoken reasons. And honestly, the fact that your mom reacted the way she did makes me think you've done this kind of thing before. Prioritized your own feelings over others and found other reasons to excuse your decisions rather than being straightforward and honest. NTA. But those are textbook concussion symptoms and you need to go to the hospital. I'm surprised you didn't go to the hospital on day 1. If I'm understanding correctly, you decided 4 days before the wedding you couldn't go BC. You would have a red dot on your head and you were dizzy and sick at your stomach. 4 days beforehand? Yes, YTABC. It was an excuse. Not one for having an accident, but using nausea 4 days before and a mark on your head as an excuse. Info. Did you get checked for a concussion? Those symptoms are concerning. YTA. If you really wanted to go to the wedding, bruising and a scar wouldn't stop you. The only real issue is dizziness and nausea, which you have. 4 days. Plenty of time to see a doctor and get treated. At the very least, you go to the doc and get the dizziness, nausea looked at and then see how you feel day of, and if you're actually still too sick to go, then. Meanwhile, what's with this sentence? She told me that because of some dumb scar I can't come to a relative's birthday. Where did a birthday come into play? Info. What is your doctor saying about you feeling sick after falling from a bike 3 days after? That is not normal op. Your family is being a bit much, but IDK my having a bruise etc. would keep you from going out in public. Regardless, definitely go to the doctor if you're still feeling dizzy, nauseous. I wild say just see how you feel that day, and if you're alright, go. Feels like this was a minor accident that could conveniently be inflated to get out of something you didn't want to do in the first place. Well, you're NTA for injuring yourself. Clearly not. It was an accident. A bump, scar on your head isn't an acceptable excuse to not go to the wedding, and it was a bit premature of you to suddenly decide you can't go 4 days before. However, if you are feeling as sick and unwell as you say you do, I would go and get yourself checked out, as you may have a concussion. You don't want to go? Just admit it. Esh. Also, it's weird that you say you and your sister have a great relationship, but it seems vitriolic. You even say your husband says she doesn't treat you right. Did you get checked out? You could have a concussion or brain injury due to the nausea and dizzy spells. That's not good. NTA. Sounds like you need to a doctor. Also, if the doctor says you have a concussion or something and that you need to stay home, that should prove to your family that you aren't faking it. It's ridiculous to think you injured yourself on purpose. If you want to keep the peace, find some other way to make it up to your sister. NTA. If you're still sick, seek treatment right away. This is not normal. The wedding is of no consequence whatsoever in comparison.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.